pictures and see if that's what it's doing.
Oh, is that where the things are handed out?
Yeah, I forgot to grab one on the way by. I always do.
And that is what is going to ultimately affect our community here. Not necessarily the CCP, but affect our waterways, and you need to wake up to the real issue. And also, when you're in your media, talk about the whole issue. Free Congo, listen to the lithium triangle, bring to light the whole new Green Deal that is toxic. There is no News Nation anymore. There is no nothing. You can't even respond to our local pioneers. Pathetic is what I'm saying. You guys are pretty pathetic. We're done with the non-transparency, and we're here to tell you you're not Chapman, and you'll be treated just like he was. So thank you.
Thank you. Next.
I just want to respond to the lift station scenario using Goshen funds when we're fighting daily 24/7 to stop Goshen. We do not want it here. It's not feasible for our environment, and everyone here knows this. If you have half of an education with the environment and our children's futures. I request an apology, a public apology from Chuck Thielen for all the blatant lies, misleading our community, telling our community that everything's going forward. I don't believe this is gonna go through. So relying on Goshen dollars for that lift station is a big joke to us. You know, we feel we have confidence we can stop this. We want more transparency, as Brandy said. That's legitimate information that's slowing this down and stopping it. We don't want our environment ruined by some project that doesn't care about our community. I don't want a 4-lane highway going through Paris, Michigan with nothing but franchises everywhere. I want it left small town country life, and that's the way it should be. We have been threatened on every level. This has affected our community and communities across the state and country. And everyone knows this. They need to start looking up edraofmichigan.org and collaborating together to save our environment for the children's future, so that we can have a community that thrives and isn't decimated by government overreach. It's absolutely despicable that I have to hear someone say that this is going through and we have no clue what's going on because there's no transparency. We're sitting on pins and needles trying to stop this, and where's the information? We're doing all the work to get the information. That's fine. But we would like to know that he's going to be stopped in his tracks for lying to the paper and telling us that this stuff is okay when it's not. Do you want our river contaminated by Goshen? Does Marshall, Michigan want their community decimated the way it is? There are people, thousands of people, not just a few hundred, thousands and growing. 7 different communities in Michigan fighting government overreach for their environment and for their freedom to be a community that can thrive without these plants that would drain the Great Lakes. I mean, if you look up Marjorie's report on what this would do to our water, it's factual information. And you should all be concerned for your own water safety and for your own environment. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I do not want my community brown zoned over money.
We're out of time, Jess. Thank you. Next public comment.
Okay, I guess my main concern, going back to the agenda here, is where is all this extra money coming from? So specifically the Xerox copier, what will this copier do that the old one doesn't?
Our agreement is up next month, so we don't really have a choice because they're not gonna service our copier anymore. Trying to make copies before we came out here, like it's jamming every single page. So we really don't have a choice. I have information on the copier, and we can try to copy it for you and give a copy, but it's not okay. But this is just it's 7 years old. The agreement is expiring. They told us this was on our regular meeting, but we tabled it. Kelly wanted to look at some bids. So we just need to try to get this done because we can't function with.
So has it gone out to bid?
Kelly was gonna get some bids, he said.
Pardon me,
Has it gone out to bid? For the
I
copier?
called 6 different companies.
And how many bids did you get back?
3.
And to what tune is this gonna cost the township?
We're gonna discuss that in a short.
Discussing
We're
it.
discussing it.
Okay. That's all I've got right now.
Okay, thank you. Next public comment? Oh,
I
yeah,
just wanted, the person who maintains it right now is in Big Rapids. Preferred office. And they can do anything else. 7 years,
As far as I know.
and they have a bid.
They have not bid?
they have,
They-
they have it. Next comment? Any other additional comments?
We have been working with the open communication programs in a while, so this is my needs to deliver some recommendations to you on how you can fight OSHA, for posterity and for the record at this point. As, well, I know your legal team knows already because I've delivered research to them. The Goshen site, has over 60 acres of 303 wetlands, which are under Part 404 of the Clean Water Act, by law should be ratified, which requires not only federal oversight, but joint oversight by U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. That's a really important angle, but there's one that, as Goshen's initial first milestones for the CIP and the SSRP and the other grants come up and become relevant, and those disbursement of funds, start to kick in. I think I wanted to call to your attention, in particular, in the CIP grant, which if you go to the sub-grant agreement is in Appendix A for Goshen under CIP programmatic considerations. In their grant application under Section M, section the extent and level of environmental contamination, what Goshen submitted, their information that they submitted here, is, and I quote, an environmental assessment of the site has been completed and shows soil conditions are suitable for the construction of the planned facility. A geotechnical evaluation is currently underway, but based on the available information, including the construction of the facility, it is assumed geotechnical conditions will support the planned facility, and Goshen is in compliance with all environmental permits and regulations. Now, to be clear, when they say in compliance, they mean that they hadn't submitted any yet and that they were planning to. But more critically, they had, in October of 2022, conducted a survey through Bar Engineering, which found 60 acres of wetlands upon the currently purchased site. They were aware of this. Eagle has since been there and confirmed that these are indeed 303 protected wetlands, which makes this CIP grant under the SSRP grant eligible for clawback considerations under material misrepresentation. If the applicant makes a material misrepresentation under the grant agreement, any required submissions thereunder, or any reimbursement request to the MSF on or before the end of the term will be required to pay 100% of grant disbursements made under the SSRP award. There's your money right there, and I haven't even gone and combed through the development agreement itself with the township, but I'm guessing that I'm going to find a lot more material misrepresentation. It's on the environment, it always has been, and this is the part where I ask all of you the rhetorical question. Who do you work for? What job have you been hired to do? You work for the people of Green Charter Township, not Ormond Hub, not Duke Vander Ark, not Chris Lawn. You work for the people of Green Charter Township. And the job that they have hired you to do is not to fight ISI, it's to fight Goshen. There's tools available. Happy to collaborate if you'd want more. That should give you enough to get started. Thank you so much.
That is to be honest with you.
that might go, should be honest and transparent.
Thank you. Next comment? Additional comments? Public comment? Guess not. So, carry on. Okay. You need a pen?
I have a pen. I got a pen, but I had a pen.
This commissioner.
Just look through the closed meeting minutes from the closed session.
Here. Yeah, I'll take the question on the side.
Sorry to come in late. I don't know if anybody has talked to the board about the sewer billing or the health of the sewer system.
Yeah, we're still in contact, with Troy. Troy's reading it and, he's reporting back to us. And, as far as billing goes, we still don't have access to our utility billing. This is a good opportunity to direct and to address some of this stuff. So we don't have access to a utility billing. So we can't send out billing to anybody that is on the sewer system. We just don't have that access right now. So, until we get transferred over into BSNA, which will be in about another week and a half, then we can start to send out our bills. But for right now, we don't have access to that. We've been trying to work through that, but it's not possible because the program's so old and BSNA is not able to help us get into. That's why we had to get the new software, approve the new software a couple meetings ago in order to update the software so that we can pull our information out of our utility billing. But that's the reason why we can't send out bills right now.
Do you know the amount of people that are on the billing list?
Do not have any access to any.
Okay, have you reached out to anybody from the old board that knows that information that can talk to you?
We've reached out to several people on the old board. It seems like I don't want to get into specifics or anything. Some we were getting some help, and then it kind of just built out, because we've been changing things now. Sarah Rasmussen's helped us as a go-between with the old board and this board, but it's a matter of being able to sign in to get our utility billing so we can move forward. I'm not sure exactly how the old board's going to be able to help us with that, other than surrendering their passwords, which I wouldn't want to do. I wouldn't feel comfortable with that at all anyways. That's my stance on that.
Well, I'm not concerned about, my knowing passwords, but when you came in, you had outside people coming in that we did not vote for.
Yep.
The sewer is not in good shape, although I know you said you had someone that came in to inspect the lift station and said it was working. I've gone through the minutes for the past 2 years that are posted, and the old board started to put into play what needed to be done. And that was supposed to take place this spring. So I don't know what your plans are, whether you have scrapped those plans and you're going off on your own. We're very concerned because there are over 150 people on the sewer contract service with the city. And there have been 3 people. Mr. Peak is one who has been here and worked with the sewer system for 40 years. And 2 other people knew about what was going on, 4, because Troy is included. And there's something needs to be done. We're paying.
I've got to keep this meeting going.
Okay, just a moment.
So,
We're paying $109 every 3 months. And I know that if there's gonna be needed repairs and you do not get money from the outside to help, those 150 some people are gonna be paying that through their taxes or a special bond. And that money is, or the charge that you're gonna charge the customers could go up to about 2.5 times the amount they're paying now. That's my concern.
thank you.
Thank you.
I'll take one more comment. Betty?
I'm just gonna try to help you out. I spoke with Lydia yesterday, she's Rob's deputy, on the phone. She did log in to Utility Village, she has been processing payments. They did assist her, she did print the bills, they are in the
Oh,
mail.
good.
This all happened yesterday.
Thank you. All right. Appreciate it. Okay. So that's good news. All right. Okay, let's keep moving on. Yes. Any other questions? Any comments?
Why is Big Rapids Township speaking with our people to make sure the bills are getting done? Are they part of Green Township now, or what?
Well, you have to consider the situation.
I am considering the
So
situation.
consider the situation because we've had full board turnover. It's like having, if you're gonna go in and there's no on-the-job training, you have to bring people in, outside help that will help to do that. I mean, you can say one way or the other, feel one way or the other, but we still have to be professionals. We have a lot of experience to make sure we're on the right track. That's it.
At no cost.
At no cost. Yeah, exactly.
But they're involved in all of our Green Township business, so they see all of our information.
And they've signed probably the appropriate waivers to make sure that we're all set. We've cleared this with the attorneys.
So how many, the attorneys?
Yes, I have to do that.
How many attorneys do we have then?
How many?
Mhm.
We have two firms we're working with. So, to make sure we're protected. Yep, there's a third one on there, but he's been ran back.
Yeah.
So, he's been really sick, so he's no way. Yeah, so 3. Okay. All right, let's keep going. All right, thank you very much for everything. All public comment noted. All right, business Xerox copier. We tabled the Xerox copier last meeting, and as my recommendation to the board to move forward with the Xerox copier that was suggested, but I was to see if Kelly had any further information on the Xerox copiers.
I've got lots of information, but I have a question about the proposal in front of us. Is that a lease to buy? Proposal?
The top part that's all printed is a lease, the bottom part where it says 2 is the amount to purchase.
So we're buying the machine outright.
We have a choice whether we want to lease it or buy it.
But I mean, the price that I'm looking at there is either way.
The price is down, the price here for 114.31 is the lease that you would pay a month, am I correct?
Correct. Yes, that would be our price per month if we were leasing it. If we purchased it, it would be the price that's done.
$49.95.
Yeah, that's-
Okay, and then there's a monthly maintenance agreement.
There's a maintenance agreement that it comes with.
I just wanted to say that, leasing to buy is like a very high interest loan, it's like going to universal rent loan.
I would prefer to purchase.
Yeah. Buying a couch for so much a week and buying a washer dry for so much a week. It's a very expensive way to go, so I'm a firm believer in buying a piece of equipment.
The previous one was purchased.
Good.
So that wasn't leased.
It's only way to go.
He just was giving us options, so I could bring them to you.
And I prefer the purchase and doing it local because you have very good turnaround as far as service.
We've had excellent service so far.
Because, I know John, and he seems to get out here very expeditious because he wants to maintain good relations.
Finally, on the board, if we could get a motion to
I motion to buy,
buy the.
I motion to buy a copy machine from
From
John Myron.
I'll second that.
Okay, can we get our vote?
You don't get to hear about the other bid.
Are you good?
It seems that the consensus of the community is that we stick with local. I don't have any problem with that. I've heard good things about preferred office machines, John Mylan in particular. I've got lots of competing proposals. I'm sure a couple of them can do a real good job, but I don't have any problem going with it.
I'm just concerned with getting someone that's in Clare. How fast are we gonna get, somebody over here if I'm having an issue with every single piece of paper I'm printing is jamming?
The best he could promise was next business day.
See, I called John and he's coming the same day. So,
Can't beat that.
so we have a motion for a second.
Okay, let's go to vote.
Frischway,
Yes.
Henderson.
Yes.
I'm sorry, so we'll start with Sarah again. Rasmussen,
Yes.
Hay,
Yes.
Rebo, yes, Thorne,
Yes.
Cruz.
Yes. Okay, motion carries, purchase the Xerox copy. Okay. All right, that order of business is done. I'd like to bring the board's attention to adding a new IT director for the transfer of IT services from ISI into our new era here. Like to bring on Tim Ambrose. He's in the audience right now. He can introduce him if you would like to. Stand up and introduce yourself.
Yeah, I am Tim Engel. I've been living here in the community for a couple of years. And I'm volunteering to assist with this transition. I've got 30 years of professional IT expertise.
Thanks very much.
So we didn't do the land tech guy?
He's still here, but what Tim is going to do is he's going to act as a coordinator to all this. Because we haven't heard back from ISI on any kind of any information regarding codes or passwords or any of that stuff. So Tim's going to handle that. Maybe he knows the equipment very well. I'm not an IT guy. I can't do that. And Benny's more of an install guy. And so that's what Tim's job is going to do. And he's offered his services for nothing for the township and help us out with our transition.
I guess I thought that that's what we did with the land tech guy. Because I asked how much his IT services were.
Well, he's for
Plus
install.
50.
Yeah, for install.
Oh, that's
stuff.
it, not,
Yeah,
okay.
that's no install.
Okay.
So
I
he's
guess
still
I should
going
have
to
been
be.
more specific.
Yeah, he's gonna be more, he'll help with the install, help with doing all the legwork. And so he'll still be our guy, but, we're gonna use him as our man to go between everything, make sure we coordinate.
I'd like to make a motion that we take advantage of Tim Abrams' offer to help with the IT transition.
Transition.
So there is going to be some downtime when you pull some hardware out. And you pull the servers out,
Good point.
Servers.
What we're doing, the reason why the transact is taking a little bit longer because number porting, all those types of things have to be prepared. So we don't lose the township's numbers. And we have to get that information. So we're waiting for the information to come from those entities. And then obviously there'll be some adjusting with the equipment, obviously, but we're gonna try to make it as seamless as possible, hopefully within the next week. So, I mean, I don't know exactly how the transition's gonna be. None of us really do until we really get there, but we're gonna try to keep it as smooth as possible. I'd say that's it at this point. Would you like to add any of that, Tim?
No, I mean, we're gonna do an initial assessment of where you guys are right now, make some recommendations, and kind of go from there. So, I mean, I just had a quick look to see what's what, but I'd really gotta do a deep dive into the existing systems, see what we can salvage, if anything. Coordinate with Steve. Yeah, and I haven't made that call yet. I wanted this to be official before I had communication with him.
Those sign stuff too, because you'll be seeing,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
IT.
IT.
You will be signing stuff.
Sure. Just get your mind. Or anybody else?
Just like second Kelly's motion. There's a second.
So we got a second for Jeff. Can I get a vote, please?
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Hank,
Yes.
Rasmussen. Yes. Rebo, yes. Warren,
Yes.
Cruz.
Yes. Motion carries. Welcome aboard, Tim. Thank you. Okay. All right, that's all over with. Now we're on budget. All right, so board notice we got. We have revenues to cover. Different line items. We have township board, which is 101. We have on the second page. We have 191 is elections section. We have 171, which is supervisor section. If you turn the page over again, it's 209, we have assessing, we need to cover. 215, clerk's budget. And we have an actual, let's see here, we have treasurer's budget. Down low, it's a little bit lower and smaller, it hasn't been both these.
You don't have a report, do you?
I do have a clerk copy. I was just
It's a
working
little
on
bit
mine.
easier to read than
Yeah,
the copy.
right. I was just working on that one. Yeah, we need to copy the machine. And then, as we continue on, township falls, line under 265. And we have another smaller heading, it's 289 down to the bottom, and that's professional services. We have a 301 on the following page, it's public safety. 325, which is another heading, is communications. Another line item on the following page of 528 is cleanup. And then 51, rec and parks. And then we do have a 790 library. Right now, there's nothing in that line. We do have on the last page, it's 900 insurance. And then and inside those corresponding lines, obviously we have payroll that corresponds to those departments and those line items. The next sheet we have is sewer. And I figured what we could do, if the board would start out with revenues, work our way down to the general budget, then we have sewer budget. Once again, you can see what the categories are. Connection, we have the line item at 477 on sewer, 478 inspection fees, 601 treatment plant, 602 septic, so on and so forth. I don't need to read can see it. My suggestion right now, as we dive into this, into the budget, is that we keep, the budget fairly intact from where we're at. We can always have, the board can always amend line items of the budget. I mean, there's gonna be some adjustment. One particular adjustment I'd like to do is make sure that we look at the clerk and the treasurer's deputies, and I'd like to fix how, because we're not really using, if you look at the clerks, let's see, let me get back here. If you look at the clerk, that'd be page 3 and underneath 215. If you look at the clerk, you'll notice that there's deputy clerk and clerk administrative assistant. And we have, that would be the second revenue wages. And what I'm looking at here is I have 15,000 for each one of those items. 15,600 is what we have. But we're running right now with the clerk assistant, administrative assistant, and it seems like the clerk and the deputy clerk are handling those quite well. What I'd like to do is take that 15,600, reappropriate it for the treasurer's, deputy treasurer's position. And therefore, the deputy treasurer's position, they could share and have been in some of the things that have been going on between both departments. And the other thing I would like to bring the board's attention to before we start really getting down into each one of these line items is I'd like to pay the supervisor's salary and the clerk's salary out of the general budget, remove them from the sewer budget. That's going to save the sewer budget about roughly around 11,000 some change. And that will maintain that money in that sewer budget, help out for yearly. The other thing is I've gotten a lot of, there's been a lot of discussion, a lot of chatter on how those positions are paid, and they're paid out of the sewer budget. And so I'd like to just move that money out of
But
there.
you guys are doing sewer work, you know what I'm saying? That's why I think that's why it was paid out of sewer, because you guys are doing administrative.
Mhm.
Administratively, you're doing stuff for the sewer.
Right. But how much, I don't know. These are the things we need to talk about. I know that the treasurer is handling utility billing and those types of things.
But you get phone calls on the lift station, you know what I'm saying? That's all considered administrative.
Right.
I can see your point, it takes some of the subjective.
Yeah.
It just puts it there. Takes some of the guesswork out of it, it's all objective, it's all up front.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was like, well, okay, Troy's getting paid out of the sewer because he's directly involved with the sewer, right? And so Troy would be paid out of there, and so would the treasurer. That makes sense to me. And then I understand why the old board was taking money, to split the payment for the positions out of there, but just to clean it up a little bit. So I'm just asking you guys to consider, because what we have is we have some of the salary for those positions are coming out of general budget, and some of them are coming out of sewer budget. And I'm not directly going down there. I don't see the supervisor going directly down to the sewer and getting involved like Troy McDonald is, and I'm not handling billing like the treasurer is. And so it's like, and I don't know if Corey's going down there, crawling down there, even going to wire something down there. Yeah, so I mean, it's, I understand that you have to cut checks, right, to pay Troy, but I don't know if that warrants taking that amount of money out of that sewer fund. So, yeah, and I would like to keep that sewer fund, if we could back anything that doesn't need to be in that sewer fund, back it out, because as the way I view the sewer fund is that's, we're managing it, that's wonderful, but that's their money. That's the people that are on that utility, that's their money. That needs to be there for improvements on their utility. And when the more and more, and I know there's there's a tendency or to pull out of those budgets. I just don't know if I necessarily agree with that. And so I'm looking for board input, how we want to do those.
So we're not gonna pay office supplies and none of that stuff, we're just gonna get rid of the
Well,
whole
once-
administrative thing.
Yeah, once we move that, we have to figure out how we're gonna, if we were.
But I was saying, like, so we'll get rid of all the office supplies, postage, everything in that little section will be gone.
Now, if we look at the sewer.
Go to the sewer one,
Okay, go to sewer.
this is, right?
Yep.
Go to the little one, it's on this, it's on the other page, it's on where we're looking at, sir.
We're looking at
Oh,
sewer.
it should be just the, yeah, and it says right here, and, because you're talking about out of the sewer fund, right, is what it's
Correct,
taken out of.
Mhm.
There's 30,000 there in the budget, are we getting rid of office supplies, postage, and the operating supplies?
That would still be.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Yeah, we still are gonna be back. I think there would still be.
Material. So, yeah, I was gonna say, we need to go to the sewer fund. So just the top 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
Which one's Troy?
At some point back in the day, when the decision was made to split, so, I mean, your role as supervisor is administrative supervisor regardless of what the township business is.
Yeah.
I don't,
Well, that's
I don't see the connection of why we would split the salary out of general fund and then out of treasury fund, and there was probably discussion and good information recently at the point, but to me, it seems much more clear cut that the salary stays in the general fund, and that's where the salary comes from. And that, it's just the very title of the category in the budget of the sewer, budget, the sewer fund, is dedicated. So
we know which one
specifically to that, I don't have a problem with taking that out of there and preserving it and building. We've had lots of discussion in the community about the sewer and the lift station. It seems to be a top object every time we get together. And so why we can't continue to put as much money in there and keep it in there and build it up for what the needs are, it seems to be pretty logical to me to do that. And keep some salary and just in general, like that's
Tracy, yeah, it's
the budget.
sorry.
Do we know which one, 703 or 704?
Yeah, 703.
Okay, 703, okay. Okay. Just need notes.
Oh, no, yeah, exactly.
You said
So like right now.
Troy is
supervisor.
out of 703.
Yeah, 703. And then we have 6, so the supervisors being paid $6,337.44 on that fund, and then we have the clerk who's getting paid $5,080 out of that, and so it'd be nice to kind of just leave that there. Move that over into general, and then find some funds to cover those costs. So we keep that money. So that money's gonna have to stay in the sewer fund. We just can't transfer that money out of the sewer fund, obviously, to pay the rest of that. So we're gonna have to find out of the general budget in order to make that happen, that switch. But, it's kind of like raising the question.
And the treasurer too off of there, or we leave the treasurer in the sewer budget?
We would leave the treasurer because they're doing, all the billing. I mean, they're collecting and they're getting paid out of that, so, yeah.
What specifically happens with 703 salary non-administrative, $7,000?
Well, that stays right there.
That stays there.
That's what we're paying short of that account. So it's not administrative salary.
Okay.
Now, if you really wanted to dig down in it, and you're really interested to see where it's 703, if you grab your sewer stuff here, and get down in here, this has got all the line items in here. It's line 703 on the back side, or on the front side here, and you can see where we're at on the account right now. Now, the red is payment, so that's what was subtracted out of the account. If it's black, it's received as revenue. And obviously, you're gonna see a lot more red in the sewer fund than you're gonna see black at this point in time.
Sorry, it's just cool.
And you can see that you can see in the description, Troy was paid out of 703, so it says, and Troy MCD. And you can see what we're paying Troy, so everybody see that. Okay. And so, and if you want to see, so treasury at this point in time, obviously you see the sewer treasurer payment. And then this will give you a description of exactly what's happening in those line items. Once again, this is just a start of this budget. We have until the 30th next month to get this in. So I mean, it's we need to really get ourselves acquainted with it. Look at the budget, get through it a little bit, get our minds around, look at a few things written down here, and then we can think about what we've been looking at. If there's any adjustments that need to be made, that we can make. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The other, I know we're looking at sewer, I'm gonna jump around just a little bit here. As far as roads go, pass things out to the board, documentation regarding roads. We've talked about roads on and off. But I'm still keeping in contact with the road commission, talk to Tim about the roads. And his recommendation would be for the board to consider if we wanted to get involved in any capital projects like the roads. We would stay with the roads that we could repair and maintain, and we get more bang for our buck if any kind of funds were kind of put towards the roads. So like fog and chip, we're looking at somewhere about 40,000, somewhere around there a mile. It's hard to say because the material fluctuates. Mm-hmm. And so he suggested that we stick with stuff that's moderately, the roads that are moderately bad that we can maintain. And then maybe look later on at some of the red ones. But if we're looking at repairing a red road on our chart that I hand out, we could be looking anywhere from 700,000 to $1 million a mile. And that's like, whoa, that's sticker shock. But there's more than one way to work out problems like this, and there's some more conversations have to be had. We have to identify what really needs our attention. That's where I'm at. Okay, what do you guys say about roads? The reason why I bring this up is we're in the budget, and if we can appropriate funds for the road to kind of maybe ask for matching funds with the road commission, then we would, I'd love to do that so we can stay on the roads for road repair and improvements.
So I guess I'm all for doing things right, doing them once, but that $1 million a mile must be clearing the right of ways, making sure the roads are properly drained, putting culverts in, grinding the road up, redoing it totally.
Absolutely, that's exactly what he said. And he said it doesn't, he's like, I know that. He said that it varies how wide the road is also, so it depends exactly, if it's wider, it's going to cost more.
So doing it right is pretty much out of the question for any council.
Yeah, at this point in time, I was pretty deflated when I heard that. I don't know. I mean, some of the places that I went out and looked at already, they obviously are going to need some help. I just don't know how we're going to do that. I asked Troy, I said, what could we do? Is there anything that he's aware of that we could do on a township level to help, find funds or whatever? And he said he wasn't aware of anything right off his head, but the road commission, road commission is doing everything that they can do to get as much money as they can to maintain the roads. At this point in time, Yeah, Wicasa County has 1,300 miles of roads, and his budget allows him to service anywhere from 60 to 80 miles of road a year. That's it. So it's less than 10% of the roads out there that he can service. So, so there's an uphill battle there with the roads, but that doesn't mean I'm giving up on that either. I just kind of drill down as hard as we can on some of these issues.
Is there anybody here who lives on House Lake Road? House Lake.
My family is property. My family is property there.
Your family?
Yeah.
Because I know they did some repair work.
Oh, yeah, is that what they're calling it?
That's major repair work.
I got some things to say about what the work that the county has done in House Lake Road.
Well, yeah, because I did some fat tire riding on that a couple of years ago, and I said, wow, this road needs some major repair. And I did see that they tried to widen some of it. I don't know if they ever finished widening the road. I don't know if they did. But I said, okay, I'm done riding this road. That was even with my fat tire bike.
Yeah, no, what they did was clear cut about an entire mile's worth of an avenue of Centennial maples on both sides of the road, blocked them by the road, left them there to rot and then come along and later be mulched. And then they tore up all of the dirt on those areas where the trees and the flora were keeping the soil from eroding, and then they just left it as bare soil for about a full 2 years without widening the road, before I think some of that dirt finally got moved around and squished into just basically piles of dirt, again, with no plans to remediate or control that soil erosion whatsoever.
I went out there and looked at it too.
I mean, it was not a friendly road to ride. I could beat the mailman on my fat tire bike.
Yeah, it's a narrow back county road. It's impassable to anyone without a tractor or four-wheel in the wintertime. That's what it is.
I'm really not sure how many people live on that mile of road. Because I think it's only about a mile. I think it's from 180th.
It's less than half a dozen.
It's like from 180th to 190th.
It's about half a dozen.
And I started thinking, I said, okay, how much do you spend? But then I started getting into the economics of it. How much do you spend does the county spend on maintaining the road? I mean, that's what, this was 4 years ago.
Whatever amount of money they spent on it, the residents of that area are not impressed with the work that they did.
Well, neither was I. I said, okay, this was deadly for me because I did a few unplanned discounts on my budget.
My family is totally part of the bottom of that ravine. Okay.
Some on the S curve around the
Let's see, there's the two highest peaks there. If you're going north from the 21-mile road, exit towards, 190th there, kind of those two tallest peaks there, those, and that was one of the areas where they were doing the most work, and they were trying to flatten out that ravine down there. Again, they just tore up all of the floor that was controlling the sediment erosion and left it there for, about 2 years. It's still, they haven't, raised that. There's still they just kind of widened the space by the road by maybe a foot before it dropped off into a foot.
So anyway, I could see why $1 million for that mile.
And it's still rough gravel.
Yes.
They would
Washes
have probably
out
spent
every
about
time.
$500,000 if they wouldn't have bothered to cut down all those trees, if they would have just focused on the road, I'd say. About $500,000 with a lot of it out
Because
there.
to cut the trees, remove the trees, put the drainage in, do the ditch work, that was expensive. Because I'm sure they contracted with somebody to come and remove the trees.
Sure they did. Sure they got well paid.
And there's nothing there holding soil. I saw it before the snow.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's nothing there, it's like things washed out. So maybe something like that we can hit and kind of like hold it. I don't know.
You'd almost have to say, hey, is there a plan for this road? Or is think there's also, you know, what level of road is this? You know, class 1, 2, 3. Many to be class.
Yeah, I don't think the township spent any money on that project. I question the rationale of the county to spend as much as they did on that project, but it's out of my control.
Yeah. I was surprised they were working on it. Because they were working on, at the same time, they were working on 190th and I think 205th area.
I'm a substitute bus driver and I drove every route in the district and that was my least favorite route. That was the most dangerous. Grand Hill's the only one that comes close to the town line lake and Grand Hill. Go the other ones, but that's neither here nor there.
Okay. Well, those are some of the things I want to bring, some items I want to bring to your attention to the board. If we can get into, let's get back in the general budget here and we'll start taking down line items. Okay, so what we do have at this point in time is we have, if we take a look at the first item, 403, and category description on revenues. It looks like we have 129,000 altogether. This is the current taxes that we have that we're going to get down into. Let's see here. So right now, as we take a look at it, we have 2003, 2024, we had 117,000. Let's bump that up to 129,000 in that line item. Let's see here. Oh yeah, that would be 403 in the general budget and revenues.
You want to move it for?
129. That's what we came up with. Would you were doing a little bit of research too on it, would you?
I didn't have this.
Yeah.
That's what I came in for last night. I wanted this so I could actually lay over there and go through it. But
Did you know about the county? The Denise used to call the county, because they can tell you what our 24 taxes are going to be.
Yes, I did, yep.
Okay.
Yep. And we were able to get a hold of that, so, not yet. So I have 129, I have 404, I have, these are the numbers that I came up with so far. 404 was 9,800. And then winter, I have 6,000. No, come up from 4,300, yep. Now, personal property tax was kept, I would like to keep that at 0, and actually I'd like to pull all the revenues down and up into the ARPA federal funds, keep them all in the same and line items. Revenue, that would be specific trailer tax, that would be line items from 426 all the way to 441. And I mean, that would get us through, what I want to do is get through the revenues here. I want to lock those down. We don't have all the money in all of our accounts yet, so we don't know exactly where all of our accounts stand. We got a little bit more work to do on our revenues. That will get us through this, and then we can move on to our other.
you said 426 to 441.
426 to 441.
You want to move money from where?
No, we want to keep the approved for 23.
Oh, just keep it, okay.
Yeah, just keep it standard.
Okay.
Don't change.
You're saying no changes on those?
No changes.
Right.
And then what did you say about the ARPA?
That just brings us down to ARPA.
Oh.
Yeah, ARPA federal funds. we don't have, that seemed to have carried over right away from, 2023 all the way over, 93, 364. I just don't see a reason to really change a whole lot there at this point in time, so move through this month. Do that.
Yeah, I need to know that.
All right, let's keep going then. After the ARPA funds, let's take a look at the constitutional, that would be 576, just to bring everybody's, does anybody have any question on the trailer tax, specific trailer tax, those types of things, before we proceed? No? Okay. Let's take a look at 576. I'm sorry, 574 listed on our accounts here in general revenue. If you take a look here at general revenue page, 574. That's our state constitutional budget. And we see that we have state contribution is going to be 355,000. So before I come up with that number, that's coming from the state. So you guys are aware of this one.
So 342 to 355.
Actually, it's actually, let's say again.
So I got 342 on the constitutional. What was the proposed?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, it's state constitutional revenue. If you take a look at this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, 574 is actually how it's listed in our account.
The number on here is not what?
It's yeah, the number, yeah, 576 should be 574. Yeah, 355,000.
Looks to me like the money the state is providing to us is going up by a smaller percentage increase in the property taxes a month.
Correct. Yeah. Property taxes went up this year because of, I talked to Seth said that we've been on a 2% increase the last few years, and it was supposed to be in a 5%. And this year they hit us with a full 5%. So a lot of they're trying to play catch up. Yep, and that's kind of where we're at, and that's why we saw a jump in some of that.
We don't have any control over that. The equalization department takes care of all that.
No.
They tell us what we have to do.
They tell us exactly what we have to do. Yeah, no control.
Excuse me, I'm in violation of the privacy account.
Yeah.
But I did write across the picture. That's not how any of that works. It's the inflation rate multiplier that's from the state. So it's not equalization. And that's just applied to the taxable value, not your assessed value. So it's a formula, purely a formula. It's not that 2%. It's going to be 5 this year. It's going to actually be 5 point something, but we can only go 5% or the IRM, whichever is high. So it's over 5%, so they can only go 5%. For 2023, it was 7.9%.
Oh,
so they can only go up 5%. The year before, for 2022, I think it was 3.3%. So it's not the state making up anything, it's the inflation rate.
Inflation rate multiplier. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, appreciate it. Okay. All right. Okay, that's the taxes, that's the tax rate for you. Any of the other the other billing looking from, or the other revenue coming from, 23, 24, I'd like to carry that over. That would be, anywhere from line item 577 down to, below, down to 694, which is just above advanced from, fund balance.
And we can't really predict how many people are gonna need a grave site, or how many people are gonna rent the park. It is what it
It
is.
is what it is, so we just don't know, and it's like, if you bring that over, I mean, those are just gonna be parts of the budget, they're just gonna have to be amended. You know, as you can see, they've carried it over for the last couple of years, so I wanna just do the same, let's not upset the apple cart. You know, just, moving forward, and we'll see how it works out next year.
That's to stay in the budget, but you don't know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know how many people are going to pass away. No, right? I know, right? That's why we're just gonna go through some of the stuff here. You guys can do that.
She knows, she knows.
Yeah, right.
So it's.
Billion's like a $25 rental out there, and there's been one rental on it, looks like last couple of years.
Because we're very good, we couldn't go outside.
Yeah, right. All right. Okay. That gets us through the first page. Any questions on any of that?
Probably get a new one with the expenses.
That's,
There's too many unknown variables on that first page. We
that's,
gotta make sure
you can't do too much with it. I just wanted to make sure that the board would do some attention to it, so that the board would have an idea what we're dealing with, so everybody knows.
What's the,
What's that?
what's that blue line, 695?
Is, let me just double check on that for you, Sarah. Yeah, so
I just wanna-
yeah.
I just see the first.
Right,
I
right.
just don't know what that's for.
Something we gotta look into.
This was
Right down here.
695. So the advance from fund balance. It's not in here either.
Yeah, advance. So I'll look into that.
I just
Figure
wanted-
that out. Sure. Okay, so that brings us to 101 Township Board. These are all different expenditures that we have at the Township Board. Trustees, office supplies, paying trustee wages, per diem. Right now, each of the trustees will pay $40 per special meeting on per diem. And so we're gonna cut the checks to that, get those approved, get that payment out to you. And so you'll have that for the special meetings, get you caught up there. But if we can, let's start out with 702, 11,000 for trustees' wages. It's divided by 4. So you can see that we've stepped it up each year about $1,000. You know, so I mean, I don't know if we want to keep that steady or if we want to increase it again, or let it ride for right now. Once again, I'd recommend the board just keep it where it's at. You know, let's just keep it. We just start let it ride. Okay. Yeah. We keep it up. No raises. Per diem, do we keep the per diem the same also, $40 per special meeting? That seems pretty reasonable. Okay.
I'd say,
Yes.
Yeah,
I'd say it's reasonable.
all right. Let's see here.
Just because my brain just went to it for some reason, I don't know why it
Right.
is. When we have the new IT guys, that we will get emails too.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we're gonna do that also. And you need, you have to have emails, you know, so you can receive, communicate. So, not using special, through emails.
What do we spend, what do we spend for office supplies for us as?
Yeah. So let's, yeah, good idea. Let's take a look at office supplies.
Oh, it's
Office
really-
supplies is $726.
Roughly there, I'd probably keep it the same, just because I don't think paper's going down anytime soon.
Right, so no, it's $726, so we have a couple,
There's a few $100,
we have a few $100.
but still, it's pretty close.
What do you think, Cory? Just leave it, we can always, it's 6, we'll run it over 16.
We're not anticipating any significant increase in office supplies, such as paper, ink, all those general things.
I don't
We're
think
not
so.
really anticipating a significant change.
No.
Market with that, yeah.
Postage is $100. I would, you know. 726. No. All right, so contractual services, that would be like repairs to anything regarding the home. So keep it on, 3. Yep.
Because I see that we're missing like a line. But it's on the list, it's not, the way it's got lines in, but it's not on here.
It's not on here?
Yeah.
Okay, 3, 7.
727 is not listed.
Oh, it isn't?
So I just wanna, I'll make a note to put
They got
it.
categories for postage and everything.
Oh,
Yeah. So the thing about it is just some of the stuff we were trying to get into to fix right away, you know, but there's so much you get into some of the
Yeah.
rabbit holes.
Yes,
you know. So
That's what I just said, it doesn't, it's not on.
it's not.
I told him to fix it.
Okay.
Fix it.
Yes. Yeah.
are we still on contractual services?
Yeah, we're still on contractual services.
Would that change with our regular buying the Xerox service agreement? Not gonna impact that?
That won't impact. Okay. Should we keep it at 3? All right. What do you think, Kelly? There's an 801 line item there. There's $1,200 that's was put into the budget for copy machine, just the copy machine service. And that would be 801. And as you can see, I think it's probably due to the age of the copy machine. We had quite a few visits. Services done on the copy machine. I'm sure there's going to be regular service maintenance on it. So we got
That should all be provided as a maintenance service contract.
well, do we want to keep that just populated with the 12 right now, 1250?
Right now, or that's what,
That's will be what it was.
How much?
it tells you on that piece of paper, so I think it probably hasn't changed, it's 0.0069 for black and white, 0.055.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, right here. Okay.
So less than a penny for black and white and 5 cents, 6 cents for color.
Colors, but if you look at the items on this, it says black color.
Yeah.
So that's what that.
So that's what that is. Yep. Okay.
Does the new finisher have a stapler on it?
He put that in there, and that's remember that whole finish too, I was hoping to
Do we
have.
pay extra for staples?
Good point.
Most of them do have to pay extra for staples.
Well,
Yeah, but there's like
You
three.
pay for the copper, you pay, well, yeah.
But there's like three, they come in like a little box and you just load it in there and there's like 3,000, maybe even 10,000 staples
So they'll
in.
last long.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not a significant expense. Did the old copier have a stapler?
I don't know, I didn't check.
I've never seen anything that.
We didn't have a stapler.
Oh, yeah, you did, the staple machine, that's part of office equipment, or office, supplies.
You have staplers,
So you still have all, you still have staplers.
but I just don't have automatic stapler.
well,
They're not too, I mean, they're not, like I said, I wouldn't say that they come in a little cube and you put it in there, there's like 10,000 of them in a cube.
now, just keep it at 12. I think that's 1250. Okay.
Over the years, it's been less than that, and some years it's a little more, so I think that's a pretty good price to put in that box.
Okay, township pays mileage. And, for 2,500 mileage on 870. And somebody wanted to turn their mileage, and that's the account that we would use, we pay a lot of that. Either it's for training, and take your car, drive out for training, or whatever.
For us, I log in, we got a little personal taxes, right?
Same here, yeah. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, you still use that. Yeah, mileage, deposits. So they're using it for deposits. So $2,500.
Looks like it's
It
covered.
might be whatever, you know.
Why do
What do you think, Sarah?
I feel like, did that fee, and do you know that Kelly or not, did the mileage rate for like state go up? Because we probably have to beat whatever the mileage rate is, right?
I'm not aware of any increases, probably.
January,
IRS determines that,
January 1st, it increased to 66.5 cents.
and you.
66.5 cents, so,
It's gone up, and
so, yep, okay.
it's a reimbursable rate, but that's covered it for the past, 6 years, so.
Yeah, I just wanna make sure it was, that we weren't off of it.
Well, we can leave her at 25. I've got a note here, so we can come back to this.
With the current rate and then so we know.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. So Rob says he's got it done at $38. It's the only change we're gonna have with that. Okay. Okay. All right, pension plans. I've been pretty intimate with the pension plans lately. Or, oh, yeah. We've been working through that. So we have $20,000 in pension. There was an increase last year. about $1,500 or so.
7%.
Yep, 7% increase. I don't know if we went full 7% increase on that, or
We decided we weren't going to increase our salaries, so it's probably leave it right up there.
that's what I would say.
Except for this is premature, election workers and assistants and deputies, the hardworking people, they need a raise.
They need a raise.
I don't feel
I don't
I
need a raise, no. I mean, we can, to me anyways, holding tight on where we're at on salaries is just fine with me. That's the way I'd like to keep it. And then we just, help the people out that are helping us. Because these people are coming in and doing a lot of good work, and they should be compensated in my mind. So I'll keep it at 2140. Okay, that brings us down to line item, line 900, printing. Yep. So you see the pioneers in there for some notice printing.
Going back several years, it was often over that $7,000 threshold.
Yeah, I mean, it just matter, I guess, on how much we're going to, more election years as far as whatever we have going on. Keep it at 7.
You can always amend it later.
Yeah, we just amend it, let's keep it at 7. Miscellaneous, 956. You got $700 there. Jump from the 23 budget, jumped it from 250 to 700. I see just leave it right now. I mean, miscellaneous stuff. I don't know if.
I would say, I recommend leaving it, and if it needs to be readjusted in the year, we'll do that.
Okay. Return allowance is $1, just instead of $1 in line item. Okay, memberships and dues. That'd be 958. I'm sure. I noticed that too earlier. I was looking it over. I don't know why it would have doubled.
I have an opinion, I won't say.
Is that something that we want to take a look at that and maybe dropping it back to offset payroll? Yeah. See what's going on with that.
How much is on CDC?
Something we're gonna have to go to.
It's just got a note next to it, says includes that CDC.
Let's look at what we are doing. All right, we'll look into that.
The thing is, we're not gonna try and spend this money or lose it like a lot of entities do, it's there at the end of the year.
Yeah.
It's there.
It's there. That's how I'm looking at it too. It's, okay. 960. 960. Oh, for training? Now, right now, due to the fact that we need some training. Leave it alone, I would say, but yeah, it's been doubled, right? It must know where it's Yeah, more than better. So what I'm doing is I'm taking notes down here so we can revisit this thing. Okay. Public relations. We only have $1 in there. Okay. So, small fixed assets, and it's been increased already from last year from 2,500 to 5,000. So keep it there. Capital outlay software, 971. That was a Wix. There was a lot of to-go. I want you guys to see this. The capital outlay software, that to-go, that is our phones. So that was phone payments. And then Wix Web, that was our web payment.
It's still in there.
Yeah, it still is, yeah.
And is that monthly then, that goes?
Yeah, I believe it's months, yeah. Okay, so I recommend just keeping that capital all that stuff there. $50 Okay, large fixed assets. I want to dig more into this. I didn't have time to really dig into large fixed assets, so I don't know.
Do you have something more in there than just the Harris Creed?
No. That's it. Yeah,
I just think we make them a little bit higher.
Right. Yeah, yeah, you know, and I can see if I can get a different, it's just what the report that they can pump out for us. So I can see if we can expand that out a little bit more.
Yeah, we could put up the so you can read a little bit more into it.
I think so. I think that's what we're gonna have.
You should, I think you should.
But this has got to be looked at more. I'm not sure exactly as far as what kind of large fixed assets or how they're distinguishing large fixed assets. Okay, that brings us down to total of the township board. We're still at 65,796. Unless we amend them.
What we're looking into.
Yeah, what we're looking into there, yeah, membership, and that's we're supposed to maintain that number. Okay, supervisor. This is the wages that we talked about earlier. You know, the wages that right now the supervisor is bringing in $257. That's only partial of the wages. Then you have to add, obviously, add into what's in that sewer. Yeah. You know, and it's so. So that would be an additional
$6,337.44.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's where we're stuck. We're stuck with those wages. We can't necessarily take them down unless they elect them, unless the officer elects to take them down. We don't expect them. Well, I was going to until I had some changes in my schedule.
So that'll move that to 28,594.
Yeah, and so, and that's the thing, looking at the rest of the budget, if we can cut that, some of those, maybe dues, membership, maybe large fixed assets, maybe just scrape a little bit on each one to cover that supervisor salary. So, I mean, we're not through the whole budget yet.
I was gonna say, because we gotta find another 5,000 for the clerk too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the name of the game right now. And you got people in it.
So, now here's my thoughts.
Yeah.
So, $10 an hour. If you do this, it goes to be 52 weeks out of the year.
2080.
Yeah, $20.
28 is 2,000, it's 80 hours.
40,000.
Well, I'm just saying that's the hours per year.
Right. And if you do $20 an hour, you're at 40,000. Which chump change. Try to maintain a house and a car and everything else.
I see what you're saying. The way I'm looking at it is, these are.
So for the top 3 dogs here,
Yeah.
maybe that was set for the top 3 dogs.
We know what you meant.
Don't take offense to that, okay?
Oh, yeah. I think we're very good. I think the townships did a pretty good deal after what I read in the paper, but, our neighbors to the south.
Oh, yeah. Neighbors to the south. Yeah.
So I read that. Damn.
Yeah.
I said, I'm very interested. Paper about work name.
Good looking. Very well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not a headache here, I'm just saying.
Sure. Well, yeah. I mean, I just kind of want to go over those plans, so just so everybody sees where we're at.
Just let you know how I feel. We'll get the deal.
Oh.
Township is getting the deal. Less than $20 an hour.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, what I look at it as like, well, okay, so it's it shouldn't be a full-time job, and therefore you should be able to offset. But you're right. We haven't. They did pick up the salary last year, and I just figured, well, for right now, salaries are where they're at. If we have to raise any salaries, it'd just be with clerk and the deputy clerk and deputy treasurer and whoever else needs to be there, because it's tough to maintain to attract anybody. I mean,
Well, that was.
Yeah. Oh, that's your full overall look at it.
That was my overall look.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yes, we have talented people. But we keep attracting talented people.
For sure.
So you don't want to bring people in and they find out, I got myself into this for what?
Well, yeah. Retention's pretty important.
That's
Okay, so if we look over the rest of the supervisors, And we still have deputy supervisor wage out there, no deputy supervisor's been hired. It pays $14 an hour, and they only have, 15, sorry. They only have, there's only $1,000 in there at this point in time. She wouldn't give you a whole lot of time to have somebody on staff, $1,000. And then, so that would have to be amended. I mean, I would like to see those positions, like I said, like a deputy position, at least go up to 16, you know. And
So you don't plan on having a deputy, but if you did, they should make 16 and up.
oh yeah, you know, I mean, you know.
That's reasonable.
Yeah, we get through a few of these other hurdles that we've been working on, you know, then that would be a good time to bring somebody else on. Right now, it's, you know, it's not something that's happening.
Can I make a general announcement? In the last meeting, I warned you folks that this is like watching paint dry. It's the most horrible meeting of the year. We're not even through our second category. We've got 19 to go, so. We need to pick it up.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, 19 in this club, and we got the next one too. Sure. I want to be out here before midnight.
Sure.
Still not proven nothing yet. We haven't given it.
Yeah, we still got right.
You got a food budget, right?
I'm just letting you know, I'm just giving you.
Well, we can do this a different way.
No, we can't have food, I already asked.
We could do it this way. I can say, hey, let's take a look at the elections, see if there's any outlying deals, and if not, we keep it the same.
Yeah, we can do that.
That's what you want to do.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, and if there's something we need to talk about. So I'd like to, once again, I'd like to bring those salaries up to 16. I'm gonna make a note of it.
That's for the elections?
No.
Oh, you're still, sorry.
Yeah, for all deputies, yeah, and then, supervisor funds, or supervisor deputy. So I'm going to keep everything in the budget the way it is right now, as we move forward. We have $250 for the office supplies. I mean, I don't know why we have to have $250 for office supplies. I'm the supervisor. And, yeah, my maintenance and postage, not necessary. We kick it back to the clerk's office. I don't really need to have a whole lot of that, but there's some more conversation. Let's take a look at the elections, 191.
I'd like to see the wages for election workers increase from 15 to 16, and for the chair from 16 to 17.
191. Please.
Same thing,
So it'd be 702.
leave 703 the same, Kelly, at 15 for training.
Oh, we haven't gotten to 15. Since we're jumping around, yeah, no, let's go ahead and increase those wages as well. I was just talking about one line.
Yeah,
And that's the only other thing I see in that category that needs tweaking.
that's what I thought Jason was going with the whole elections thing.
Oh, yeah.
Doing it, and look at all of
Yeah,
them.
look at the whole election.
Look at the whole election
Yeah,
thing.
and see if there's any outliers that we need to really take a look at.
How many elections do we plan on having here this year?
There's 4 that have to be here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think,
Training's probably gonna, raise training, at least $500.
well, you guys gonna train everybody new, or you guys getting some people that
We're
are
getting
already?
some people back.
Okay.
All the newcomers, that's required to be trained.
Yeah, all the newcomers have to be trained, they all have to go through training.
Plus, it's continuing on, we trained every 2 years.
Yeah, and that expires in July.
Paul, you wanna run the elections?
So you're,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for the election, you need, everybody needs to go through training.
And Marcy does that, and it's a couple hours long, no, but she's out there, the service is over. So, if you got 15 people, they're gonna have to go and get your little certificate, and you obviously have to pay.
How many hours is it?
2 full hours, right?
Is that what you said?
Yeah, are you up for retraining or again, are you good for,
We all have to go back in the summer.
I'll have to go back to.
We did it just before the last big election, so we want to make sure everybody had gone through all the re-upping before the last big election, 2 years ago.
One thing I might point out is that several years ago, Janet asked for a $500 stipend per election, and it was approved.
Well, is that the 704?
706.
It's election wages for the clerk.
704, yeah, I see 1,000 there. I just heard we're gonna have 4 elections this year, so that should be 2,000.
You know,
I didn't agree with the $500 stipend, but we can't do it any differently now.
pretty.
What was done before has to be done. currently.
We need to add $1,000 to that, okay.
I don't think we can eliminate it.
Corey's gonna be here in the middle of the night, going to the middle of the next night, he's gonna be putting in, 18-hour day for the election.
Part of being clerk.
Yeah, I think election is separate.
Okay.
Bless you, unless that was a call.
I don't know what it was.
What if there's a $500 stipend?
It was a hybrid, it was a hybrid.
$500 gas
We know we got 4 elections coming, so that should be double.
meals, or what?
No, election wages clerk.
Yeah, so
Yeah, we-
before I got a note, I got a notation. 704, okay. How about meals? Double meals, maybe?
Yeah, this food's gone up, jeez Louise. Have you gone out to eat lately? Costs $40 to go to work.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only place that we can get a free lunch. I'm not eligible, you're not eligible, but election workers are and should.
Yeah.
They're here all day.
Oh, yeah. But
Just saying.
I would at least double it. I mean, if we need to remove it, change it, put it someplace else. So 500. Got it.
1,000. Yep. And then,
Yeah, what are the meetings? Do we get written fees for, or what?
No, well, the last couple elections we've gotten from the pie hole, we've gotten like grass for 1 meal, and then the sub shop at
Mr. C's.
We got stuff. And then, Janet used to go out and she'd buy like a bag of lettuce and some stuff, and she'd bring salad and things for the workers, so. And they brought their own drink.
Well, they supply water, and then they would buy like 30 or 40 pack of lotions.
Oh,
Yep,
the variety pack.
go with it, and some of the ladies like to make cookies.
so what we're gonna do is, we're looking at increased wages. 50, 60, training.
But there's also a chair there, remember, that was up to,
Yeah.
17 instead of
17 for the chair.
72.
Sure.
702.
See, the person in charge of everything does so much more work, it's actually up and
Yeah, right, so back to 72.
That's not you, but that is you. That's not you. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Training wages are the same, we kind of kick that around. Yeah.
Should we move that to 16?
So should go up to it.
Yeah.
Go up to $1. Yep, $1. 703.
McDonald's paying more than
Yeah, I know, that's the problem.
yeah, we're paying. So move on to the next
Yeah, let's
category.
move up, let's move up to the next category, I've got that taken care of, so we'll make the adjustments there. Here, so. Okay, so we're down to the numbers. Now assessing 209. Okay, assessing 209.
He's not an employee, he's a contractor.
That's hit at the bottom of 818.
Yeah.
It says a contractual services.
Mm-hmm.
Is that still legal?
Set, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets $100 as a wage because he needs to be an employee to start the tax. The L-4209. Yeah, it's 1 day.
1 day is employee.
He
So
gets
that's good to know, thank you, Patty.
Pardon me?
That's good to know, thank you, Patty.
You're welcome.
I don't know if the name was do that.
Because he is an employee.
Well, he's a contractor for everything except the one report he has to sign. And it has to be signed by an employee of the township. So he's an employee.
That's how we're getting around that regulation.
Oh, we're making them employee, eh?
Yeah.
Good to go.
Board
And his fees haven't gone up or nothing, right? There's that, us to make that change.
Not that I'm aware of. See, we're gonna lose that here about May, you know, from what he was saying.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that's gonna have to all be, you know, looked at.
Just ask if we can increase his wages to make him stay.
Yeah, I don't think we can increase it that much.
The assessment wage is like so much per parcel. And like, when is it March, the parcels are, I don't know, the county.
Yeah, the board reviews it.
Okay, so then it's like $15 or something per parcel. And then that's split out over 12 months. But it's always a count taken, like, the end, I think it's the end of March.
If Seth is gonna be leaving, we need to probably put that position up for bids, and set proposals.
Is he leaving at the end of March? Because it's not
He's like,
January.
yeah, he's,
Oh, okay.
he said everything else, so,
Maybe let's see that it's working.
well, that's the thing, he's already officially, and that was like last week, so he's helping.
Yeah, he
the
does
other
more,
assessors.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how many he's doing, but, he's mainly, yeah.
So when we hired Seth, we put that position out, posted it in the paper and other places, and then we did interviews.
Yeah.
And then, I think they all got to the wayside, but Seth.
But, well, that's interesting, you know, I mean, he's, I asked him, I said, well, how soon do we have to try to find an assessor, because you're leaving, you know? And
He
like,
may know somebody.
what's the lead time? And he has a couple, people in mind for us, you know.
He has some recommendations.
He has some
I will
recommendations.
start there with what I was gonna suggest, yeah.
Yeah, and then he's gonna help us post, you know, his job out there, and then, so we.
What was his response? What did he say time for it? What did he respond?
Oh, yeah, until somewhere around in May, he's gonna have to take that next job, but he's been working his school quite hard to get up this next level, so. He's gonna be doing, yeah, we're doing quite a bit.
Not that far out.
I was gonna say, it'll be here before we know it.
Right.
He's like a, he'll be like a master assessor for the whole state of
For the
Michigan.
state, yeah.
Any township that has problems, he has to go in and help it out. We've been working on that for several years.
Yeah, he already had more credentials than most assessors.
It's too bad to lose it, you know. Well, okay.
We must not pay his bills to state.
No, I don't. She reassured me that. So, yeah, you're not gonna be
Probably paying to go to school too.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
The school and the even on the thing.
I was just joking. The state is paying for a lot of school.
Okay, so assessing, like, I don't see any really
I think we're good.
big need to really change a whole lot there.
Is this, not just me, we have office supply postage in every category. Is that something that has to be, or is that something that was like methodically broken down years ago into, or is it something that could be streamlined into office supply and postage? Period.
Well, anything that comes out of that department should be charged that.
That's all the companies.
Yeah, it's all.
They've already decided that for us. It would make more sense to take it out of one big kitty, but the accountants, they gotta do it their way.
They have.
Not the accountants, it's the state of
It's the
Michigan.
state that gives you.
That's
State,
what I-
because we had to add categories in the last couple of years per state.
Put it down and hold it. That's
I mean,
it.
it's not a big corporation. I mean, we have a lot of categories, you know, in some ways we are, but it's, I don't know, it just seems, it's pretty thought.
They wanna know what you're spending for each individual department.
I understand. Yeah. All right, move on.
It's count. Sorry.
So we're gonna maintain assessing at 43 at this point. Okay, take a look at the clerk.
And you already said to move, you already moved the stuff from the admin assistant to the deputy clerk, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, so move the clerk. So.
No,
7.
No,
No,
706. I was right. Move 707 to 706.
No.
Is it backwards?
No, move 707 to,
706. It says deputy clerk.
move 707 to, 706. Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Thank you very much.
yeah, there we go. Underneath 253. There we go.
Under 215, right?
No, 253, I moved that to 253 for the treasurer.
Would you do that?
Well,
Yeah. So 707 to 2606, but what did you say about 253?
well,
Under treasurer, not
yeah, under the treasurer, under the clerk. So you keep the deputy treasurer, clerk, deputy clerk, where she's at, other raise that position up to $16 an hour. And then move the Move the 707 position, out of the 215 into the 707 position on 253 treasurer.
Oh, so you're moving it to, I thought you were moving it to the deputy, you said deputy clerk, so that's where I was following you. Okay, we're taking that and adding it to the you mean the deputy treasurer.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so you're wanting to move it to 253, 706. Okay.
And 706 needs to come up.
That's not. Addition is 16,600. And that's it to.
Do you think we're gonna be more for postage, Corey, in your position?
Sure, it's in the wrong first.
They're going up Sunday.
I'm not sure.
Well, let's keep it right here, we can look at the postage. Postage, right enough.
Going up to 68 cents.
Going up to 68 cents.
So it was 66 and a half.
Remember, the state pays the balance of postage for the elections now. It's universal.
I think this is just regular postage for the office.
Yeah, this is talking about this,
They're
they're
gonna be in their election.
yeah. We left that one alone.
Okay. Okay. Now, all right, so let's look at the board review.
On that
Oh,
clerk,
yeah,
you did add in there the $5,080.02 that you wanna add into from the sewer fund,
oh,
right?
thanks, yeah, and that's what. And.
No, sir.
Forgive me, but I've lost track. Are we jumping down to treasurer, or are we still dealing with clerk?
We're still in clerk.
We're still clerk.
I heard you mention treasurer a couple of times.
Because so he's taken, so in the clerk fund of 215, that 707 clerk admin assistant, he's taking that 15,600 and moving it down to the treasurer for the deputy treasurer line.
Gotcha, okay.
That's where we're at.
So deputy summer tax collection, that's wrong. It says 707 under treasurer says deputy summer tax collection.
It's going to 706. It's going to 706. 707 in 215 is going down to 706 in 253. Where's my whiteboard at? I need to.
I know that, right?
707 remains under the treasurer as deputy summer tax collection. 707 remains there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're still in 215 though. We're still in the clerk's budget. We're just saying where we're moving it to. Okay.
It's there, but gone there.
Okay.
Okay.
That 15,600 was there.
And that goes. Other than that, I can't see anything else to do, with the clerks.
Okay. I just want to make sure you have that fine.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
We bumped the deputy clerk wage up.
To 16.
To 16.
Yes.
All right, let's look at 247 board review.
Let's bump that one up a buck too.
No, I don't know. Per diem was $40. Okay, training. You want to do anything with training for board review? There's several trainings that are coming out. Seth told me there's a couple different ones that I'm registered for. And So we could probably should, because we're gonna have to put a new board review together, right? And so I would say, we need to bump that training up.
Yes, and everybody's gotta be trained.
Everybody has
Where
to.
some people may have already been up to speed, they all have to be trained.
Right, and so, I don't know,
I think when I did that, they had them in two spots. One was, Morley Stanwood, I think, and the other one was you could go to Mount Pleasant. Chip Hills, there you go. Close enough.
They're 4 hours long.
Yeah, they're forever long.
And everybody have to do it a couple of years, just like the election.
Yeah.
okay, so,
Does that mean double, or?
Yes.
Do you know what the charge is for it,
Do you
for
think?
those?
I don't know,
I don't know the charge, I don't know if I got paid 4 hours at
Yeah,
16 hours.
yeah, so you get paid hourly to go to those
did you get
meetings.
paid $16?
Well, there we go.
It was 15, but that's, yeah, so I got paid to go to it at $15 for 4 hours is what I got paid.
But I don't know if there was a fee through signing as well.
I didn't think that there was. I didn't think that there
There's
was.
a fee for the one that says it's $50.
Yeah, $60 per person.
Oh, that might be something different.
Well,
But would that be under assessing though, instead of actual? It was for work.
Absolutely, for the board review. So I mean, we really need to double it, we should probably double it at least.
Okay.
Go from there.
Well, 703 goes to 1,000.
73 goes to 2,000.
Okay.
We're not really gonna drive it terrible, no. So that would be everything under the board review, 247.
Then you have the regular wages for all the 3 meetings and then the 12 hours in March for the.
We moved them to $6 an hour and then per diem $40.
$60.
16.
Yeah, we're not going back to 16, not 16.
We're saving money, all right.
I know you're off that board now, you just don't see now.
I like that board, we got lots of fun.
We have your lunch to go.
That goat next door is the only
The goat,
place I'm telling you.
So there will probably be some mileage expense if the employees decide to submit mileage expense going back and forth to Chippewa Hills or wherever it may be, you know.
That's correct.
Yeah. So I'm gonna, we might have bumped it another $100 on mileage, 200.
Yeah, you can budget it, and then we have to spend it.
Move it up 100, move it up 200 or just move it up 200?
200. So let's move it to 200. Double it. Needs that.
Because generally two people will ride together, not paying each person to drive.
Yeah, but the driver should probably be reimbursed.
Yeah, driver.
And it's up to them if they ask for it, if they don't ask for it, they don't get paid.
Here's the problem, meals, $1. You don't even have $1 menu at McDonald's.
Have a lunch.
Well, there's only been one time where money was spent on meals in the last 5 years, and I don't know how that happened.
In 18 and 21.
They put $1 in as a placeholder.
Yeah.
All right, 253 treasurer account.
Speaking on for a piece,
We bumped the deputy treasurer up just like we did everybody else, so that's.
Yeah. Right, so in treasurer at 21, 20, 58. This is 9,000. Okay. Deputy treasurer, so that's 976.
we just brought that 15.6 down, where you're not added the 3 that was there too.
Right.
It's not 15.9, 6, okay, that's what I thought.
Is the BSNA software gonna be split between offices?
Yes.
Okay, but we haven't dealt with that yet.
Not yet. What's gonna have to be,
Because I see treasurer software support, that would be software support, there's a yearly subscription. fee.
well, what the board was doing prior to this is they were, in the, let's see, professional services column, that's 289. They were dumping a lot of those fees in there, in those columns. What we, software support, you can see 809 on 289. Sorry, it's not bold-faced and big on
So
professional.
right now it's a buck, that has to be
Yeah,
just a placeholder.
so that was just a placeholder for that. What was told me is that BSNA has to be built for so for answers between all of them. And then they will be BSNA should be coming online. I just got off the phone with them 2 days ago now. Yesterday. They're supposed to be installing after the switch over from ISI. They're gonna come in and switch, put their software in. So they're stepping it up about 3 months in advance for us. So that's good.
So we're splitting between treasurer and,
Treasurer and clerk.
and clerk.
Yeah, and
You
assessor.
use it too, don't you?
And assessor. I mean, I could, I guess we could split it in that.
I remember, Mr. Dean saying that his laptop supported BSNA software. That's why I wanted.
Yeah,
Maybe you're not gonna get.
it's not on there right now, on the computer right now, so, you can always just ask them for reports and that's it. Just do it that way.
So will the sewer take any on that either, because part of the sewer's on BSNA, right?
So, yeah, part of sewer will be on that, yes.
So are we gonna give some of that 20,000,
Right.
to the sewer too, to kind of absorb a little bit?
I would rather not, but I would just rather
I just
not.
don't-
But I don't know exactly what the attorney's counsel are gonna tell us,
Okay,
so,
so just between.
yeah.
So we put, that is gonna go into professional services, okay?
Okay. So I guess, we're gonna keep office supplies the same, we got office supplies at $1,000. We still have a lot of mailings.
The postage, I see it says includes tax notice.
Yeah, these are.
For electricity.
All the tax notices.
Does that need to be adjusted at $1,100 because of the 4 elections come up this year?
Oh, yeah.
So this is the treasurer's office. This isn't
Um,
But if there is a tax,
Yes.
postage increase, I don't know.
Okay.
That's something that we can revisit.
Coming up maybe 15%, but it's not additional, right? Yes, sir. No change it? Summer tax supplies are $500. And treasurer software support, obviously, we're looking at up in the end a little bit. No miscellaneous, $100, so just keep that one. Okay. That's for your, exact others. 265, that brings us to 265 Township Hall.
Isn't that up to $16 too? The wages?
Yeah.
Everybody else, I don't necessarily
And do you know what type of help would be paid out of, that account for wages?
Township, call.
Like maybe some of the stuff Roger Carroll did for, contracting work?
He didn't charge us for contract.
Okay.
We bought it.
But over the years, there has been small amounts of money, 342, 356. And, I don't know.
Hope Network would be under contractual services, I believe, not necessarily.
Seems to me like, just looking at general electric, trash removal, heat, that sort of thing, nothing really moving around too much. We've got it pretty well covered. We have internet service will change. On that line item on 724, that's going to change. So that'll come down a bit, dramatically. And that might be where we can kind of change this budget around a little bit, using some of that.
Does the copier come out large fixed assets or small?
I would say that would be small. I'm assuming it's small. I guess I'm thinking large.
We don't have a number that's small. There's 4,000 in the budget for small fixed assets. Copiers really one hand. I don't mean to be difficult, just think of all
No,
You're fine.
it brings some money is
And when are you
small,
gonna pay for
large
the
fixed
taxes?
assets.
Are you gonna pay for it out of this budget or do you the budget you're in now? This budget doesn't take effect till April 1st.
Right.
Good point, good to know.
It's going to be.
So we have the previous budget.
Yeah.
So that's the budget that you're in right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The same with the FNA, that's gonna be, I'm assuming you paid before April 1st.
It is, yeah. All that stuff is out of this budget, not this budget we're working right
Yeah, I'm incorrect in assuming that, the fiscal year is the budget year, but it's not.
No, yes it is.
Well,
The fiscal year is April 1st through March 30th.
There's 4 different.
And that's your budget year.
my year is go January.
He's thinking calendar year
Yeah,
is the
calendar,
same as, so
but-
there's calendar year, there's budget year, and then there's like even, what is that, June to, or July 1 to June 30th, yeah, there's fiscal year, depends on where you're at in the calendar.
Well, the budget year could actually be a fiscal year too.
Yeah.
now. There's a couple line items of software contract support. If you take a look, no, I'm sorry, I jumped in. Never mind.
What's SHP?
Stone Hatchery Park.
Oh, so that includes in the trash removal, okay.
So large fixed asset is tabulation.
Pardon me?
Election stuff tabulated.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that makes sense.
I say let's say that we have to raise wages 265, 702 raised $16 an hour, right?
Be nice to know who the person makes the money.
Right, and we're looking at that.
And it might, so, and I don't know, just because I don't know, I'm gonna ask this question. If you rent out the township hall, are you guys allowed to have alcohol here?
No,
None at all?
none.
Okay,
So get your property in, if they have to have their own insurance.
okay.
Do they have to get a temporary liquor permit too?
But is that,
They just go through their homeowner insurance and they just get liability.
Okay.
but then, so, and then I have a question, so if that's the case and you're gonna have it there, do you guys have to have like a security person? Do they have to hire a security person?
No,
No, okay.
that's because they do it for liability coverage. Yeah, that's, as long as they're not selling it, you know.
Interesting.
Okay, first flame, sure.
If you're not,
Well,
where I'm from, where you, if you have a party and there's alcohol, they wanna be sure that they're not served and.
so that would be up to the host of the party.
I'm gonna charge by the cup. Okay.
Okay. So we'll look into 702, keep everything in that.
Yeah, what's curious about that line item is 2 years in a row, it was 35609, the exact same amount. That just doesn't make sense. Maybe it's the same exact amount of hours for work.
Or maybe it's just a flat fee that somebody, you know, with taxes taken out, it might come to them.
That's a new one, I think.
We're gonna go down to cemetery, 276, we'll have to fill out the rest of this.
Their contractual services line 818 should be considerably smaller. That money all went down and down.
Well, we don't know, are you,
I don't plan on it.
I didn't know if you were gonna do
But we
one.
should certainly put it up for bid, but the mowing only costs $10,500 a year, and that guy was getting a lot more than that.
Contractual services would also be done.
Yeah, that Jake's.
I mean, it's an in and out, but the money's up in the revenue and what you pay him is down in the bottom there.
Okay. All right.
Are we changing,
It doesn't make money, it's an.
yeah, it's just an in and out, but are we changing the cemetery hourly to 17? Or are we keeping it 16?
No, let's change that to 17. We have software that helps locate grave locations. You got anybody on there? Well, I mean, they have to be buried in a certain spot. Who takes care of that? Is there software available?
There's a software program that tells you, you know, the lot number, and then you can put the name of who's buried there, who bought it, who owns it. It doesn't actually,
It's not like a
it's not a
blueprint.
GPS.
Okay, somebody told me it was GPS software, and the clerk doesn't have to go out with a metal detector, it's just all,
No,
okay.
no, it's just a, like an information program.
Okay.
But it has all the cemeteries, all the graves, and then everybody that's buried there that we know of. There's several just bodies in various spots. Because this goes
Do you guys
back
have,
to
do you guys have a
1800s.
blueprint, do you guys have a blueprint on it too, to like see which way they lay and that kind of stuff, or no? It's just more.
They have to face east when they're here.
Yeah, there's a specified foot and head, direction.
Okay,
They have to be facing east.
so they always are facing east. Every cemetery is different.
Contraction services.
Four cemeteries.
I would say leave the cemetery alone.
I would too.
You know, because we don't know what's gonna happen.
I would leave it.
Some are from sister renewal. I think that's like, well, I don't know, I don't think up and down, I don't think it's gone up a lot each year, but.
Let me get into my morbid personality. Since my time in Germany, and I don't know how many.
Bruce is leading up.
I thought he was gonna say something, he's like, that's what I thought he was gonna say, since my time's almost up.
I would love to say that. My 40 years pay. How many spaces do we have remaining in these cemeteries?
There's, each cemetery has an addition on it, and so there's lots of spaces, I don't know what they
No,
are.
it didn't.
There's an Excel
They
program
can't.
that
They didn't.
we have, just
They can't do it.
squares for all
Legally,
those
they have
lots.
to do it.
So,
We have to look at that.
so what has happened in Germany? One of my wife's friends, she was buried there, but you only rent the space for a number of years, 10 years, 15 years, then you were dug up and cremated. Yes, because Germany has lots of people and they don't have the space.
I don't think we need to worry about running out of space.
Well,
You might.
eventually, it might come. Now,
And like, the people do not, we charge like $60 for a resident for a plot. They don't own that plot, they can't sell it, it's just,
Reserved.
yeah, it's just.
then in Hawaii, I had a veteran, he worked for me. He passed away, and his wishes was to be buried at the Punch Bowl, the military cemetery that overlooked Honolulu. They were not burying any more bodies there, but he could be cremated, and they were put into a wall that took a little. So, is there a place at any of our cemeteries?
No, but you can have four cremated on the plot.
Okay, I was just wondering if there's been any.
Yeah, another example is my parents were both buried at Great Lakes Memorial in Michigan, which is a military, basically Michigan version of Arlington, right? So my dad died first, he was Navy, right, WW2, buried. My mom passed away.
They put them on top of
She
each
buried
other.
right on top.
Yeah, there's a few like
If it
that.
ever gets to that point where all us baby boomers are filling up the cemeteries,
Well,
that's an option.
you know, I mean,
That's an option.
we can think we have unlimited space, but
Yeah.
Well,
30, 40 years from now, we may come to.
30, 40 years from now, my dad